Hello guys and welcome to a new episode of the football show. Today we're going to talk about yesterday's games from the top 4 or 5 European leagues yesterday, and also we're going to preview today's Premier League games. So let's get started. Let's start with the Premier League games yesterday. Arsenal against Nottingham Forest. Arsenal beat Nottingham Forest 3-0. Very good win for Arsenal. I thought they looked comfortable. However, some downsides was that Odegaard got injured again. So hopefully it won't be too serious. Especially they've had some injuries like Saka, Saliba as well. So yeah, but I think Saka should be back next week if I'm not mistaken, according to Mikel Arteta. Saliba is going to be out for a couple of weeks. But yeah, even despite that, I think Arsenal look very good. They look comfortable. I thought Nuno Madueke looked very, very good, by the way. People obviously will say, no, he didn't get scored or get an assist, but if you watch the game, I thought he looked very good, very lively. He had a very good performance. And then, Zubimendi had a very good performance, scoring 2 goals. Obviously, the first one where it was an absolute rocket ship, amazing goal. And then the second goal where it was a great Team Arsenal goal, where it was a great pass from Calafiori into Erebeche Eze, and then pass to Gyökeres, and then he scores. So good win for Arsenal. He rested Rice, probably because of they've got important games. They've got Athletic Bilbao on a Tuesday away from home, and then they've got City on Sunday. So yeah, Arteta, like him, I think he rested some players, the likes of Martinelli, likes of Rice, Ben White, Trossard, and I guess that's why, because he wants to avoid injuries. Especially he's had some injuries with his key players, likes of Bukayo Saka and William Saliba. But good win for Arsenal. Bournemouth beat Brighton 2-1. Good win for Bournemouth. Crystal Palace drew 0-0 with Sunderland. Everton drew 0-0 with Aston Villa. Aston Villa, the only team in the English top flight right now who haven't scored a goal. What's wrong with Aston Villa? Yes, I know they've had some problems in the transfer window, not trying to problems in signing players, but not scoring a goal in 4 games. I mean, that's quite strange, because Aston Villa last 2 years under Unai Emery, they've been used to scoring goals and being a threat in attack for other teams, but this season the opposite. Fulham beat Leeds United 1-0. Newcastle United win 1-0 against Wolves as well, thanks to a debut goal from Volta Mede. Very good goal from him. An important win for Newcastle. The first 3 points, first win for them, so very important win for them. West Ham, versus Tottenham. Tottenham win 3-0. Again, Tottenham look very, very, very good. Again, yes, they had that blip against Bournemouth before the international break where they lost 1-0, but they've shown they had a good start to the season under Thomas Frank. Doing well against PSG. Arguably should have won it, and then winning against Burnley, winning against Man City, blip against Bournemouth, but they came back stronger and they won 3-0 against West Ham. Very good win, good 3 points. I thought Bergvall and Javi Simmons, particularly Bergvall, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. He was very, very good. The midfield, I think the Tottenham midfield looked very good. The likes of Sarr and Tottenham looked fantastically good. They scored the first goal from Romero in the first half, but it was disallowed by the referee. I don't know why, but I don't think it was. It was like a foul. Romero might have made a contact with the other player and player went down, but I don't think it was a big push. I don't think the goal should have been disallowed, but the VAR, the referee said no, the goal should be disallowed, and the VAR didn't get involved. So yeah, but Tottenham second half they score the goal from Sarr, very, very good goal, and then red card from Suchek, which was a deserved red card. 3 minutes later, when the red card came in, you think like, yeah, that's a game over. West Ham down to 10 men, losing as well. And the second goal, great pass by Romero, great finish by Bergvall. It was a similar goal to Arsenal scored in the second goal against Nottingham Forest, and also the Brentford first goal they scored against Chelsea, where a player makes a fantastic pass to the player and he scores. This was similar. Romero, fantastic pass to Bergvall, and Bergvall scoring. And then the third goal from Van de Ven. Van de Ven, he was very good once again. I like those kind of centre backs. The reason I'm a big fan of Van de Ven, because he's not only he's a very good defender, he can defend, but also he's very fast. He's tall as well. He has good athleticism. He's my he's my kind of centre back. He's this kind of centre back I like. He also, he can not only he can score and he can also defend. Like we saw in the Europa League final, we had that made that amazing goal line clearance. So good finish for him. But Tottenham, very good win, very good, important points. Especially, when you see Tottenham under Thomas Frank, they had managers before like Mourinho, Conte, and Nuno where they were defensive. They had Ange where he was super attacking. Thomas Frank is the balance of it. He's the middle of it. When Tottenham need to attack, they attack quite well. When Tottenham need to defend, they defend quite well. So, I think Tottenham. Thomas Frank has made Tottenham as a team that is very balanced and very competitive. Also, a team that is that is not lacking in terms of the balance in the style of play. Because when I had managers like Ange, Pochettino, you could say as well, even though he was fantastic at Tottenham. When they had managers like Nuno, Conte, Mourinho, they lack the balance of attack and defending. Being pragmatic and being attacking. Thomas Frank is the middle of it. He's the balance of it. So he's done it really well. We saw that he can do that kind of things at Brentford, but obviously to do it at a higher level at a big club like Tottenham is more difficult. And now he's doing a very good job. Very early in the season, let's not get carried away, because we've seen managers like Mourinho in the first full season at Tottenham, and second season at Tottenham, and Ange first season at Tottenham, where they have a very good start and everything is simply lovely, and then they fall apart. So let's calm down and let's wait and see what happens after that for Tottenham. But right now, Thomas Frank is doing a good job, and Tottenham are a very, very good team. They're showing that they can be a very competitive team this season so far. So, yeah. Brentford drew 2-2 with Chelsea. Chelsea two massive drop points ahead of some of the crucial games coming up, Bayern Munich away and United away. Chelsea went 1-0 down thanks to a goal from Kevin Shade. Amazing pass from Jordan Henderson, but you could also put the blame on Chelsea's loss of possession and lacking organisation defensively. So, to be honest, I don't think Chelsea deserved to lose this game. I thought they played very, very good. They dominated the game. They had lots of possession, lots of chances. I don't think Brentford, except the goals they scored, I don't think they did much, in my opinion. But you have to praise Brentford for sticking in there, for fighting until the end, for fighting until the end. And when they had the chances, they took it. They capitalized on it to get something from this game, because Chelsea, I think they were the much better side. They dominated the game. They controlled the game in terms of possession. They dominated the game in terms of chances. First goal, Cole Palmer, very good finish, and the second goal, a fantastic goal from Caicedo. And then you think okay, come on, Chelsea scored the second goal. They've been the better team. Surely they're gonna hold on to win that game. And then defensively for that second goal, there was five Chelsea players marking on 2-3 Brentford players, and they were also trying to win a throw-in, and they lost it. How that can happen? How that can happen for Chelsea when you've got 5 players defending and he still lost it? And also Fabio Carvalho scored that goal, and I think Garnacho was his man. Garnacho he was with Fabio Carvalho, and then he let him through like that, like a piece of cake. Again, very very lazy from Garnacho, which still I don't understand why they signed him. I don't understand, because they don't need him. They need a top defender, and they need a striker. They need a defender and they need a goalkeeper. I said it. Chelsea cannot compete for the title if they've got centre backs that are not good enough. Defensively, they're not good enough, and they don't have a good enough goalkeeper. And this game showed it. They dominated the game. They were very good going forward, but defensively they were very, very poor. They lack organisation. This is what's going to cost them the league title. Yes, the Club World Cup champions. They've shown some great signs on Enzo Maresca, but if you don't fix your areas that are quite weak, you're not going to challenge for the title. And Chelsea, and this is what is showing. That two game that except that West Ham game, outside all the performances this season have not been that great. Fulham, I don't think they were that great. They got a bit lucky with some of the decisions. Against Crystal Palace, I don't think they played that well, and they got a bit lucky as well with the decision of Eberechi Eze scoring that goal, which was disallowed. And And this game where they dominated the game, but they should have closed the game out, and they didn't do that. So two massive drop points for Chelsea. They should have won the game, but poor defensively and conceding that goal, the second goal. There were some suggestions that maybe the second goal should have been disallowed, should have been offside, because the player who was in offside position went back and touched the ball for a player from Brentford. What's his name? I think it was I don't know who was it, but I think it was Aaron Hickey. It was Aaron Hickey, yeah. I think it was Aaron. No, it was not Aaron Hickey. Who was it? Who was the? It was probably Dango Otera, or Rico Henry. One of them. Dango Otera, Rico Henry, and they touched the ball. When they were in offside position, they went back and touched the ball. So maybe I think maybe the goal should have been offside. Maybe, but except that, Chelsea's defending for that goal was atrocious. The five players marking and trying to win a throw-in, they lost it, and Garnacho who was supposed to be Fabio Carvalho's man, and he lost it as well, and they conceded the goal. Stupidness defensively from Chelsea. So Chelsea they deserve to win this game, but if you don't defend well, and if you don't close the game out, you don't look like with the way Chelsea did it, you don't look like a championship winning team. And this is what Chelsea showed. They don't look like a championship winning team. Now let's move on to other leagues. La Liga. Let's move on to La Liga. Real Sociedad against Real Madrid. Real Madrid win 2-1. Real Madrid, they had a good start of the game, thanks to a goal from Kylian Mbappe, good finish. And then the red card from Dean Hedgerson. That was a bizarre red card. People saying, "Oh, he was the last man. It was a deserved red card." But you don't know that. Melito was the other side as well, so you don't know if it was the last man. So I don't think it was a deserved red card at all. But again, that's referees corruption for you in La Liga. I'm not saying the referees in La Liga, let's say against Real Madrid or the Feyenoord Barcelona or whatever, as some Real Madrid fans would say. But this is the typical refereeing corruption in La Liga. What do you expect? The typical refereeing corruption. Those referees in La Liga are so corrupt. Nothing else than that. But then, despite that, they went up to 10 men. Real Madrid scored a second goal. Great move from Mbappe, who went past the rest of that player, turned like that, and then made that great pass to Eric Gula, who again keeps shining, keeps doing well for Real Madrid this season so far. And you can clearly see why Xabi Alonso really likes you choosing him and fancies him, unlike the previous manager of Ancelotti. But great finish from Arda Güler, who can finally showing his quality. To Tchouaméni, I thought he had a good game, who once again has been very good for Real Madrid this season so far. And then Mikel Oyarzabal with the penalty goal, which to some extent I think it was the correct decision for that penalty. But despite that, I thought the referee had a very poor game, very poor game. But despite referees' corruption and stupidness, Real Madrid still find a way to win, and that's the most important thing for them. I don't think Real Madrid were that great, if I'm being very honest. But in this kind of games, when circumstances are against you, could see the penalty, you have a red card, you have to find a way to show character and to overcome it. And I think Real Madrid did that quite well. And Real Madrid keep the 100% record winning streak at La Liga. Atletico Madrid finally win their first game of the season in La Liga by beating Villarreal 2-0. Bundesliga, Bayern Munich smash Hamburg 5-0. Goals from Luis Diaz, Harry Kane, Gnabry, Pavlovic. Bayern Munich continued their good start to the Bundesliga, and they are top of the Bundesliga for now after 3 games. I'm going to close the video and then I'll talk about Serie A games and then move on to today's Premier League games.